Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk to you about the funeral service of that of Stargirl. This is not an episode 13 series finale review. This is not a season 3 rundown review. Those will come shortly. My series finale review will probably come, if you're listening to this now, it'll probably come tomorrow. Only because I missed a few minutes and I want to see what happened because I'm curious to know if like everything got resolved. So like I just need to I just need to be like 100% sure, and the app doesn't put new episodes on midnight no more. So now I gotta wait till the next day. And so, like, I'll do the rundown review of season 3 much later and stuff, try to like pace it out. Because I do have a lot of mixed feelings about season 3, as you know. There are some things I like and some things I didn't. And it's actually kind of like the same way with the finale. There were some things I liked, some things I didn't, and some things I'm kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. And so, like, why, Stargirl. And that was a show right there. If you ever heard me talk about this show, you know I love the first season to death. That first season was too good. And the reason for that, it was a DC Universe show, which is sometimes a little shocking. Sometimes they would hit, they was misses, but that app went down, and then we had HBO Max, and that's going down. And now we're finna have something called Max. Why? But I love superhero stuff, and I love a lot of the Marvel stuff, like the TV shows. And I used to be a fan of the Arrowverse and everything. But then the Arrowverse got on my nerves. And still to this day, Daredevil is my favorite superhero comic book television show. But boy, Stargirl is up there as well. I don't know where she ranks at, but she is up there very highly, and it is because of that of season 1. When I first saw like the teaser trailer, and I saw they were gonna do like the JSA 2.0, I'm like, no, just make it about Stargirl. I don't want a Teen Titans version of like the JSA, but they turned out to be amazing and everything. And I really, really enjoyed them. I still think Rick sometimes got a little sidelined because it's kind of like, he's supposed to be the strongest one, but he always end up getting his butt kicked somehow. And of course, Beth just can't fight, but she's smart. But Stargirl and Yolanda and can really hold it down, and sometimes Rick can hold it down too. And it was just always amazing. In their costumes, I love their costumes so much. They are some of my favorite high-ranking costumes in a comic book series. I even think their costumes are better than Daredevil costume, and I like his costume a lot. But those are some good comic book accurate suits that are made on like a TV almost movie level budget and stuff. Because when you look at Starman costume, it looks a lot like Captain America's costume. It's really good looking. They really, really improved on their costume making over the years. No more are these like leather jackets and stuff like that. They're really getting into their groove. And so was the writing in this show. One thing that made the writing so good in season 1 is that, it didn't feel like the Arrowverse. It didn't have those long-winded speeches. It didn't feel foo-foo. It had an edge to it the same way Marvel did. But it also had that light-hearted humorous same way Marvel does, and even sometimes the Arrowverse does. It had a perfect blend of like everything. And the action is top notch. Their choreography team is some of the best fighting I have ever seen. And it's so much different than that of the Arrowverse and Arrow. And their fighting is even different than that of, say, like, trying to think of another, Titans and stuff. Like they really tried to be different, and they really brought in a lot of good stuff from like the comics and some Easter eggs at times. And this show has some good high quality. The CGI in the first season was pretty good. stripe. The mech suit looked amazing and everything. And the thing I loved a lot about season one is that they always put the budget where it needed to be put. The fight scenes, the CGI, Courtney using her staff, her flying on the staff and everything, it always looked good. It always looked real. And Stargirl was always better than Titans. And as much as I love Doom Patrol, Stargirl actually had a purpose. Sometimes when it comes to Doom Patrol, it's like they're high and just bouncing around on screen. And with Stargirl, they actually stayed focused and everything. And even in, say, like the second season, I went hard on that when my frustration because I saw how good the first season was, and then the second season, I can't talk. Second season started to turn into an Arrowverse show. But even though there were some things I didn't like about it, I still enjoyed it very much. I was just upset it was starting to look, sound, and feel like an Arrowverse show. And sadly, they didn't have the budget that they used to. They couldn't do that much stuff with the staff, couldn't have that many fight scenes. They really had to, minimize what they had to spend their budget on. And I still respect them in season two, you know what I'm saying? Even though it was not up to the quality that I loved and cherished and stuff like that, it still had a lot of good moments. I love the ISA 2.0. But a lot of the writing was hit and miss with me, in season two. But then you get to season three, and season three, it didn't really do it for me. I leave myself asking a bunch of questions. Why, and why didn't you just do that sooner? And why some more? And I get they were trying to be different. I know Jeff Jones is an idiot. Yeah, he can make some good comics and stuff, but that dude just sucks. And yeah, I know they kiss his butt a lot and on that show and everything because they have to, because they work for the dude and he gave them that opportunity. But he sucks. He's part of the reason why the DCEU is crumbling right now. And but he did give us one of the coolest characters ever, and that is Stargirl, based on, sadly, his sister that passed away. And season three, there are some things I do like about it. It started to pick up towards the end, especially with all the twists and turns. I can respect those twists and turns, being a Goosebump fan and stuff like that. It's just a lot of stuff that happened before that. I just asked the question of why and everything, It feels a little rushed. It feels like they were trying a little bit too ambitious. A lot of the writers from season one did not return for season 2 and 3. This is why it changed. But all in all, just a series as a whole, I still think it's one of the best series ever. They gave us some of the greatest characters. They gave us some of the coolest stars ever. I didn't know who none of these people were, except for Joel McHale. I briefly seen the dude who played Pat. And I briefly seen the dude who played Icicle. And I think that's really it. Everybody else I did not know. Oh, of course, Seth Green, but he came in during the 3rd season. But everybody else, I didn't know who they were and stuff. And I really enjoyed them. And I follow a lot of them, online and stuff. My God, I don't think there's nobody who doesn't love Brett. Seriously, how can you not? She is perfect for this role, especially in season 1 and a bit in season 2. I felt like in season 3, they made her more into a Supergirl type character, all nice and fluffy and sad and stuff, because she kind of dropped a lot of her edge, which kind of sucked. But she was going through a lot. And so, but who doesn't love themselves some Brett? She was just awesome. And she has the greatest smile, you know what I'm saying? That's not a fake smile. That is not a fake smile. Like towards the end of season one and everything, that is not a fake smile. That is genuine and everything. That is 100% genuine. And that's how much she loved this character. She even said tonight, like she cried and everything. Like, and she spoiled a little bit talking about Pat's back. Well, I'm like, oh well, he didn't die from getting buried alive and stuff. So she's like, oh, whatever. It's the last like episode, and so but seriously, she was just a joy to see on screen all the time. She had a great costume, a great personality. If you ever seen any interviews with her, like this, that, like she's pretty funny too. That whole candy thing she did, she videotaped years ago. That is something you have to look for on YouTube. That is hilarious. She's pretending to be like a drug dealer, but who's selling candy instead of drugs. And it's just hilarious. And the rest of the cast, the actress who plays Yolanda, man, seriously, she was made to play a superhero. Like she really was and everything. Like Wildcat was just so awesome and everything. It had a little bit of that Black Panther-ness to it, especially with the vibrating purple discharges and stuff. But it was always great seeing her, her pigtails. Her costume was great. It took me a while to get used to that giant mask on her face, but it makes it look cute and cuddly and stuff. And there's not enough like nice stuff. It's just so much nice stuff you can just say about her. Like it's just she was so cool and she was so sympathetic in the first two seasons. It's just quite a shame she got sidelined for the third. And Beth is like one of those people you just want to be friends with and like hug and everything, because she's just the person who wants like the best out of people. She just loves making friends. She's optimistic. She's highly intelligent, and she sees the good in people, just like Courtney and stuff. And Rick, he just seems like that type of dude who's kind of like your bud and everything. Like you can get along. He'll have his cranky little attitude. You let him like cool off, and then he's back, and then y'all can just bro it out. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool seeing him struggle a lot in season one, being this grumpy person and then mellowing out once he had friends and everything. And that whole thing between him and his uncle, like so many people can relate to things similar to that or have seen people like that. And he really struggled, not just in fights. I hate how they nerfed him in fights. He did throw some good punches here and there, but every time in season two he had a good fight scene too. But like sometimes somewhere, even in season one, he was getting his butt kicked. And it's weird because he's so strong, but yet he's getting his butt kicked. But when he throw his punches down, he can really throw down. I still don't understand the whole Grundy thing, but it shows even somebody who hates somebody as much as he did can open up his heart to somebody. And Cindy was a great villain. Like, my God, she was just great. I hated when she turned nice because her character kind of diminished after that. But when she was bad, like, ooh, she scared you on screen. You know what I'm saying? And Pat and like, the mom, I think her name might be Amy. They were just two of the lovable parents you can ever have. And then as for Mike, I was okay with him in season one because he was perfect as the role of the annoying brother. And it was cool seeing him like struggle with Pat, his biological father, treating Courtney better. By season two, he got super annoying. I got tired of him in season two. But in season three, him partnering with Jakeem and everything was the best thing for his character. And it's too bad it couldn't happen sooner in season two. But in season three, he was very enjoyable. Him and Jakeem were like great comedic reliefs. And it was kind of weird to see them on their side quest, but also kind of cool in a way. Because, it made you feel like yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like the grown-ups are doing their thing, and here's the kids just trying to do their own thing, That's how I always felt about like that. And let's talk about the villains. They were such great villains, man. These people, the first season villains, man, they were just awesome. I wish you could see more villains like that in movies, but sometimes you can't. And then in season two, they had a very dark, demented villain they had to take, like, and fight and everything. And then in season 3, it was all about the revenge game. I still think that was a little rushed. Like I said, I'll get into season 3 later, but the revenge game is always fun to watch, and there was so many twists and turns with the reveals of the brain swaps and everything. I did not see that coming, and I give them kudos for that. Now I will say, well, that's fine. I'm not even talking about this episode yet. It was kind of cool to have a couple of Easter eggs here and there. I wish they would have brought Shiny Knight back, because that was kind of a bummer when he left. He was really cool in season 1, and I always wondered what happened to those 7 warriors and something they mentioned, but they never did anything with it, but they did mention it in the finale. Jenny, she was cool when she showed up, but it sucks that she disappeared for the rest of the series for the most part, and only to come back not to really do much of anything. And I really wanted a Green Lantern in the show, but of course that would have been too much money. It's too bad they couldn't bring her in season 1. But all in all, I did like Jenny, and that's what always bummed me out when she had to leave the show. And so, there's more good stuff I could say about this show, but you already know. Like, you're seeing it for yourself, And I still think season 1 finale was the best. I still think season 1 was the best. Not only that, but just the finale, the end scenes of season 1 finale of Courtney and Stripe just flying out in their costumes, having a good time on that water tower, looking up, that big smile on her face, and her finally feel like she has a place in this world, you know what I'm saying? That she is not alone, and she's not some type of outsider and stuff. Like, she has people she can connect with. Like, that smile just said it all and everything. And I haven't seen the finale like that since. Because in season 2, it was more like she was irritated by who her neighbors were. And then in season 3, I was very disappointed in the way kinda it ended, kinda. It was kinda okay, but at the same time, I'd rather see the main cast instead of, like, these older people who were barely in the show. And so, like I said, I'll get into that much more later and stuff. But all in all, man, I am gonna miss this show. I might even watch season 2 again just to get a different perspective on it, because when I did watch it, it was in the utter shock of it turning into like the CW Arrowverse. And so, like, maybe if I watch it again, maybe I'll have like a different view on it and stuff. But I am gonna miss this show. Because honestly, I don't think there's nothing that I really watch on actual, like, broadcast TV except for that. And this is going to be a bummer. I need to check out the Winchesters. I'm curious to see how that is and stuff. But everything I've been watching now is just on streaming. So it's just kind of like, man, I miss old school TV. Hey, hey. Alrighty. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.